I am making this for a second time. You know why? Because I actually did my video, most of it. And then when the battery died, and I have to edit something, I was going to put video images in. The kicker for me is when I changed my battery out, my mic wasn't on. Ugh! I hate when I forget something. I thought I said it, and I didn't. And right now, I said it. Hang on. I gotta see. Yes, it's on. I'm sorry. Sometimes that happens when you... This is peering into what a YouTuber would do who has a very basic setup. Sometimes things don't go the way you want. So you gotta work with what you got. So what did we get with this show? This show was something. It wasn't bad. It was something. I may actually use that as a title because I don't know how to pin this one down. There was a lot going on in this show that's leading into All In. It is something, but it's so much being crammed into the next, how many weeks we got left? We got this week, next week, and the week after before All In. So we got 3 weeks of stuff that should have been spread out for at least a month or two easily. Because that's what this problem is. As many people worried about what's going on with All In, that they hadn't anything set up, everything seemed to be crammed into this show. And that's one major problem you get with a promotion that's still working out their kinks. Let's open with JS. Now, in my original video, I said Guevara was the first one to make it clear. I gave up everything to become a sports entertainer and turn my back on my heroes, but you didn't give me back. I'm done. And he's dancing like this in his face. Jake Hager said what he needed to, but I didn't hear all of it because because I'm watching it on an app. I lost most of what he was saying. The player stopped working. It happened multiple times. So the player stopped working for Jake, and also Ty. So I don't know what she said. What I did manage to see with Jake, because it went a little bit in and then lost it, was that he said that with being with Chris, he was able to see the world and even made money. But that was it. Now, if I had to take a guess with him, he probably said, I've always been by your side. I don't think they would talk about the Pinnacle going against the Inner Circle or Inner Circle at all. But he would probably say, I've been with you since the beginning, and I love my hat. That's what I think he would talk about. Ty, I don't know what she said. Because the only thing I saw of Ty is when she walked away with Anna Jay, when Anna Jay made it clear that I got a lot out of this. I wanted to learn from you, but now there's nothing more because I've given more, but you're not giving back. I got a title shot. I'm done. And she walks away with Ty. But if I had to take a guess with Ty, maybe she said something about a pregnancy, and when she finally comes back, she's going to kick ass. That's a possibility. I don't know. I would have to see a replay of it. My guess is something along those lines. 2 people spoke the best. One, the best promo. The other one, the best emotional promo. The best promo, the best talk, was Daddy Magic. Now, I know Parker spoke, and he spoke pretty good. No, yeah, he did. He spoke pretty good, but he walked off first. But when it came to Daddy Magic, he had the most intensity and the most best way of talking. Because the way he spoke, saying, I idolize this man, and at one point I had no work, no job, and he helped me, raise me up, and get me a job here. So essentially, that was the best promo out of it by just a mic ability. When it came to the most emotional was Sammy. Sammy made it pretty much clear. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not going to chew your ass out. I've been with you from the beginning. And I love you. But you got a problem here. And you need to sort this all out. But when it's all done, if you want, I might still be here for you. So he made it very clear that he's not throwing him away like everybody else. But he's got to work his problems out. That's what he meant with Chris. And Chris, after that, in the back, he made it very clear that Don Callis and him, they're going to have their moment next week because he's going to give him an answer. Fine. Now, I'm doing this now. I'm doing the last match because of how bad the guys, Anna Jade and Shida were in the tournament. There is going to be a Fatal 4-Way at All In the next couple of weeks. There's like 3 weeks left. There's going to be two more matches. This was the first. The next two will be on maybe Rampage or Collision, and then the next Dynamite. I think they're going to do it like that. And you already have Toni Storm, who's eligible already, because she's doing a rematch clause. Toni wants this at All In to be a Fatal 4-Way like the last couple of years. Now, here's the thing. I've seen Shida in a match, and I know how she works. I've seen Anna Jay in a match, and I know they have worked together a couple of times before in tag. But I'm telling you right now, that match and that chemistry was not working. It was off. I don't know about anyone else. They may say, oh, the match was fine. No, the match was off. And understand, for me personally, guys, I care about women's wrestling. I have been doing Impact Wrestling since 2012. I'm not saying I've been the longest one, but I've been the one who's been reporting on it. And I can tell you, out of WWE and AEW, Impact has had the most consistency with their women. Even though WWE and NXT had a great development, Impact has done it longer. Period. And it angers me that the women in AEW still don't have good storylines. And I'm talking about the Mexican female wrestlers, the American female wrestlers, the Canadian female wrestlers, and particularly the Japanese ones. And since they come back and forth, it makes it impossible to even care about any storylines because they don't make them very well. And even with Saraya there, even with Toni Storm who came in, even with Ruby Soho, and Taya Valkyrie, for goodness sake, is there. And I'm still not feeling anything from them. Jade Cargill has gotten... Look, I want to make this about Jade. I want to say this briefly about Jade, and I'll get back to the match because something happened in that match. There was a major issue with Anna Jay. But I got to say this about Jade Cargill. The girl needed to drop that title at least 3 or 4 months ago. I'd say about 3 months. Easily. And that was not because she sucked as a champion. She needed a championship that had more recognition. And she had to raise up a title with herself. A brand new minted title with a very young and still needing work in the damn business, who's only been there maybe 2.5, nearing 3 years now. She busted her ass to make that title mean something. And instead of giving it to Athena or Madison Rayne or Selena Deeps, if she was still there at that time, or Thunder Rosa or Ruby Soho, or a Taya Valkyrie, and then let her try to raise it up. She held it all the way until Statlander came back. And no matter what, that hurt the damn title, and it didn't make Jade look any better. It actually hurt her. I know everyone else won't agree, but that's how I feel. So when I think of all that and I see this match was not a good match. Both of them, their chemistry seemed to be off. And worse yet, look, tell you this. I'm a guy. I love women. I do. I love the boobies. No problem. Small, big. If I'm in love with someone, I love their boobies. But Anna Jade had an issue that, like a Jade Cargill had at one point. Because she changed her ring attire. She did not realize how loose her top was. And she needed to make sure that top was much more tighter. Because at one point, I'm sure people know what happened, her top popped down and you saw the tape over her nipples. That was pretty much a wardrobe malfunction. And during this match, when you see a Anna Jade, one of the things that was hindering the match was Anna Jade having to try and cover her chest. Because a lot of times, every move she was doing, she had to hike up her top. And that was a distraction. Literally, her breasts looked like they were about to spill out. And let's be honest, Anna Jade doesn't have big breasts. But still, whatever was going wrong with her wardrobe, she had to readjust it almost every single time. Even Trinity had that problem in one of her first matches on Impact Wrestling. She didn't have a strap here because she was wearing a top that was a crossover. Nothing on the shoulder. She had no strap there, and she kept pulling up her top. That was a wardrobe malfunction or mistake with her. She didn't have the right thing sewn onto it. And this just didn't feel like a good match. It didn't flow correctly. Even though Parker and Daddy Magic was there, so they looked like they're going to stick with her, it just didn't flow right. I'm just saying. I'm moving on. Let's go to the next match. The FTW title match of RVD and Jack Perry. Guys, RVD, I think he's 57 or 56 years old. Or what is it, 57, 56? He's older than me. The boy can still go in the ring. And at one point, when he does his leg drop from the ring onto the guardrail to get a Jack Perry, dude, the splash was so strong. Jack's face hit the guardrail and flipped over, and everybody heard. It was that loud how hard RVD jumped over to him, because it was a lot farther than most rings. Look, the mat, the ring itself, and their retaining wall, their guardrail, was much further than most usually would see. And he did a long jump, splatted him. It was loud. That was good. RVD still can go pretty damn well in the ring. Seeing him do a damn Rolling Thunder at 57, 56 or 57, he's still in great shape. He didn't win, of course. But let's make it clear, I didn't expect him to win. But the question is RVD now going to be under contract with AEW? Will it be a 4-month a few months? He'll work with them. Maybe he has a year contract. That would be great. I would love to see him there for the next year. Work with the younger talent. Maybe he'll go to ROH. Maybe he'll go over to Collision. Maybe he'll go over to Dynamite. I would like to see him stay around for a little while and not be a one-off. It would be great. It isn't, but I don't know. Next, the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Lucha Brothers. Now, supposedly Pac is injured. During that match, he was injured. He got hurt. And the Lucha Brothers are mad. And they want to whoop some ass. This was a good match. There was an attack before the match started. But what we got here was a good match. Moxley did bleed, because he did bleed last week. I didn't see the match he bled in, because I missed it because I couldn't see was it Collision? No. It was Rampage. I never get a chance to see Rampage. I never do. For what's been going on, I mean, I have to do SmackDown, then do Collision, and I tend to always not do Rampage because it's a lot to watch. That's 3 hours. I don't want to do 3 hours on a Saturday. So I have not been able to see it. I may just watch it, but I'm not going to review it. I'm going to see if I can watch it, because if I want to watch it, I want to review it. But then it will be, who wants to see a Rampage review on a Sunday? Or better yet, a Rampage review Saturday and then Collision Sunday. That not many people watch my videos when I do that. So, you get my point. So the match was fine. The Blackpool Combat Club had to cheat because Moxley grabbed Penta's shorts and hiked him up. I thought at one point that Phoenix might have hurt himself when he was trying to jump onto Wheeler Yuta, because he was the one who managed to make the match win. At least part of the way. But you get my point. Now, Young Bucks versus the Hardys. Now everyone's a face. Ethan Page is a face, and I think that is Cassidy. I believe that's Cassidy, not Quinn. Because I always forget about him. Because we're not looking at Private Party anymore. I think Quinn is gone. Either he got injured or they released him. So it's Cassidy, I believe. Since I don't see him much, I don't remember. But he was at ringside. And it was a decent match with the Bucks dealing with the Hardys. I would have liked it at a pay-per-view, though. I'm just being honest. Now that well, when you look at the Hardys, you should see them getting into the main title picture. When you look at the Bucks, you see them getting into the main title picture. But since FTR called out the Bucks were going to win, And they agreed, all in. They're in. So, it's cool. Not saying it's bad, it's okay. The most funniest segment, but also the one that you can tell there's going to be friction, was MJF, Cole, and Robert Strom. Opening was fine, and the thing that was funny is how you could see, if you still don't believe MJF is more of a traditional wrestler who knows how to read a room, he basically started like, oh, wait a minute, because Adam said pretty much, I'm going to win, but then MJF is saying, oh, so you wanna cut some promos now, huh? And he just started belittling him, and he had to yell at him saying, no, stop, I'm not doing that. And MJF's going, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry, my bad. And he made sure that this town was not considered mediocre. That was also part of his promo. But he apologized. So what do we got now? We got Adam Cole basically saying, we're going to have our match, but let's make it even better. Why don't we go after some tag titles? Because people wanted it. We wanted it. Why don't we talk about the ROH championships? Why don't we get that from Aussie Open? That's what they're saying. And MJF is saying, wait. Are you crazy? Are you a pervert? And everyone's calling him pervert. Because they want him to be a pervert with Adam Cole. And I know I could talk about the Look, I'm going to leave out when they went over to the trampoline park. I'm leaving out, even though it was good. But this is more important. Seeing that they want to get the ROH titles. And seeing that MJF now has to do 2 matches in the same day. And he loves a good rub. He pretty much agreed to it. Then Roderick Strong comes out. And pretty much MJF called him nothing but a damn baby bitch. Why don't you get in your car, drive home, change into your baby bitch clothes, listen to some Taylor Swift, and just take a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up. Pretty much kind of like that. Not in such bad words, but everyone got onto it. And pretty much Adam Cole is called out by Roderick and saying, Robert, and he's saying, dude, you say you're my friend and you let him talk to me like that? The Kingdom was right. And the Kingdom comes out. He runs into the arms of, who was it? I think Taman. I think he went to the arms of Taman, not Mike Bennett, I think was Taman. And then they walk away, and then Adam Cole gets pissed at him. And he shoves him back and says, why did you do that? And then he pokes him in the chest. Why did you do that? I am your friend, I'm his friend. You both are important to me. Why did you do that? And then he realized he did a stupid thing by poking him and shoving him. And he apologized. And MJF was not too happy with that. He was ready to beat the shit out of Adam Cole, but he cooled down and they hugged it out. And then he told him, go talk to your friend. Go on, it's all right. And he stayed in the ring. He pointed to the fans. He took off his title and he held it up. Now, do I believe there's going to be some betraying at All In? I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to guess here. It's easy to guess. I don't want to. Let's make this very clear. Guys, right now, as it stands, this is a great pairing. As weird as it sounds, MJF working with Adam Cole, being faces, it's funny, and it's fun, and it's getting over. Now, mind you, people already believe Adam Cole is going to betray, possibly in MJF, or MJF is just going to betray Adam Cole, or Robert Strom is going to screw over Adam to make sure he doesn't win, and maybe piss off MJF thinking it was Adam who screwed him. Like, Strom screws over Adam, which pisses off MJF because Strom made Adam look like he messed with MJF in a different way. That's what it looks like. I cannot tell you that's going to happen. I can only tell you what people are going to say. That's what they're going to say. I am leaving it blank. I want to be mostly surprised. I don't want to try and guess. But I can say this. This is a fun situation. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing in wrestling, but at least AEW is giving us a good story with two people that are over like stink, and they do vid packs like the trampoline park, which was funny. Let me give it to you like this. This show was something. I'm not going to tell you that it was bad, particularly when it came to one more thing. The segment with Swerve Strickland and the Mogul affiliates, Sting being back. Now Sting and Allen are going to have a match with AR Fox and Swerve, a coffin match, I believe. The story is not too bad. It's actually pretty good. And when it came to Darby Allin explaining what happened, when it came to him and AR Fox, that AR Fox has a demon inside him that is driving people away, was not too bad. Not bad showing, but I'm going to be honest here. We got stuff that should have been done in the last 2 months being built up in the next 3 weeks. Counting this week. Because counting this week, we got 3 weeks left, roughly speaking. I think. Yeah, I think around now it's almost about 3 weeks almost. So, it feels rushed a bit. There's no lie. This feels rushed. Maybe I might use that as a title until something. This feels a bit rushed. Because I want to try and make sure everything is set up at All In. So, it wasn't a bad show. But it does feel a bit rushed. But that's just me. Peace.